of multiple of these charges. And
I
so,
see.
and because I don't have, police reports or anything with the system being down, I can't in good conscience litigate a case where we have no idea what happened here.
Right, the case is going to be reset to February. Today is the 7th, so it'll be the 14th. Excuse me, 15. Today's the 8th. February 15th, and that will be at 9 a.m. And hopefully we'll be armed with more information by then.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Positions 12, 13, and 14 are reset. And then we'll move on to jail court iPhone, and we have position number Jackson there.
Yes.
I apologize, Judge. Mr. Jackson is another client who was lost yesterday, and so
Okay.
not met with Mr. Jackson yet, but I can log into Zoom and we can be put in a breakout room.
All
Or
right. There are 2 clients at jail court iPhone that are available right now, and that is Mr. Jackson in position 1, Mr. Brown. Are
Okay.
you ready to address Mr. Brown?
I am prepared to address Mr. Brown.
All right. Deputy at jail court iPhone will address Mr. Brown, and then I will place you in a breakout so that Mr. Jackson can talk to his attorney.
Okay.
Thank you. This is State versus Emmanuel Brown, 24 CR 0000455J. Mr. Brown, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say in open court, your statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney, and representing you is Miss Olivia Vigiletti. Do you see her on the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Miss Vigiletti, are we going to proceed with the plea?
Yes, Judge. Very quickly, I did want to ask, Mr. Walker, did you see my email about the time served on this case?
This is Mr. Brown. Mr. Walker. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I did not.
I do think there might have been an administrative error. Initially, Mr. Brown was offered to serve 90 days with credit for time served of 40. We had to reset his case because of the system being down, and now he's being offered 108 days with credit for time served of 49. Of course, it's not Mr. Brown's fault. He couldn't take the plea last week. And so I just wondered if it might have been a mistake that we're giving him extra time.
Yeah, I think that the intention was to do time served. I didn't work
Okay.
the offers,
Okay.
but I think the math might be a little.
Yeah, and that's what I wondered. Okay,
So yeah, I will modify it to, so he's been in 49 days. That would give him 98 days credit, I believe. Is that
Yeah.
correct?
yes.
So it'll be 12 months to serve 98 days, credit for time served, 49 days, balance probated. Hold on, let me make sure I'm reading this right. Balance probated, a stay away from Old Cascade Road, no further contact with Tamia Jones, no firearms, with the condition of a family violence intervention program.
Okay. And that is, Mr. Brown, that's what we discussed yesterday. And so unless anything has changed, I do believe Mr. Brown would like to accept the recommendation. And so, Judge, we just ask the court to accept the state's recommendation.
All right. Mr. Brown, if you please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. We've already heard the state's recommendation. Ms. Vigiletti, do you stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID?
We do.
All right. Mr. Brown, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol recently?
No, ma'am.
And have you understood the recommendation from the prosecution and your attorney's explanations?
Yes, ma'am.
And is anyone forcing you, inducing you to take this plea offer today?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
If you decide to accept this plea, you would have to give up your constitutional right to go back to court and have a trial in front of a judge or a jury. You will not be able to confront your accuser, challenge the evidence brought against you, present any defenses or arguments that you may have, as well as have the state carry its burden to prove the charge against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you plead to 1 count of criminal trespass and 2 counts of simple battery?
Yes.
Your sentence is 12 months to serve 98 days, credit for time served 49 days. You will report to probation at the first available business workday next week. Do you have any other holds? Ms. Vigiletti?
Yes, Judge.
All right, so once you're released from all your holds, you will report to probation at the first available business day, which will be a Monday, a Tuesday, or a Thursday, and you must report before 3 p.m. The probation office is located at 132 Mitchell Street in downtown Atlanta. While on probation, you will stay away from, I didn't write down the number, I'm sorry, Old Cascade Road,
3820.
3820 Old Cascade Road in Atlanta, Georgia. You are also to stay 200 yards away from Tamia Jones and not contact her in any way, form, or manner. You are not to possess any weapons or any firearms. And within 60 days of reporting to probation, you must enroll and begin your domestic violence intervention program classes. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
That must be within 2 months of reporting to probation. Do you share children with Ms. Jones?
No, ma'am.
All right. So then there's no reason to keep in touch with her in any way, form, or manner. Thank you.
I have a add-on position 2, Mr. Willie Hines.
Officer Blunt, Willie Hines, we don't need him today.
All right, Mr. Hines, your case number is 24 CR 409Y, in which you're charged with battery, family violence, and willful obstruction of an officer. Please remember that you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say right now, your statements can and will be used against you. And you have an attorney, Ms. Vigiletti. Ms. Vigiletti, understand that he's entering a not guilty plea. And are you filing a waiver of arraignment?
I did, yes, I sent a waiver of presence and arraignment yesterday.
All right, so then this case will be further notice for trial.
Okay,
Mr. Hines, your attorney has filed a not guilty plea and your case is going to be scheduled for trial. You will get notice of when it's on the schedule. Thank you.
Can I have a bond, Your Honor?
Your bond is whatever was set before.
Okay, Your Honor, can I get time served? Cause a thousand years to God is just one day. I've been in here for days.
Mr. Hines, remember what we talked about, that Julia and I are working together on getting you to some mental health care? And so we're working together and we'll be working on getting you out and getting you to a hospital, okay? But this judge isn't gonna be working with us on that. That will be a different judge, okay?
Your Honor, it's been violations in this jail towards me. I've been feeling like somebody been trying to kill me in this jail.
All right, in that case, Mr. Hines, make sure you write that down and you speak to your attorney as soon as possible.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank
officer.
you.
All right, Ms. Strong, could you place jail court iPhone and courtroom 2 in a breakout session, please? Deputy at jail court iPhone, you will see a message on the screen to join a breakout.
Okay.
Thank you. We'll be in recess until the breakout's completed. Thank you. And Ms. Strong, we can stop the recording. Thank you.
Mr. Schuman is available. This is position number 9.
Thank you, Deputy. We are waiting on Miss Vigilante also to come out of a breakout session.
Okay, thank you.
So just give us a few moments. Thank you. Ms. Strong, could you just let Miss Vigilante know in her breakout that we are ready to proceed?
Sure.
Thank you. All right, we can resume recording. Ms. Vigilante, how are we proceeding with Mr. Jackson?
Mr. Jackson would like to enter a not guilty plea today.
All right. Mr. Delshawn Jackson, case number is 24CR 0000495J. Ms. Jackson, you have been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is Ms. Vigilante. Ms. Vigilante, have you shared with Mr. Jackson the misdemeanor offense brought against him?
Yes.
All right, we are going to waive sounding on that charge. Mr. Jackson, you are aware of the charge brought against you?
Unfortunately, yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
Okay, so this is a misdemeanor offense, and upon your entry of a not guilty plea, the case will be scheduled for trial. Ms. Vigilante, do you waive a reading of the accusation?
We do.
At the time of the trial, the state, that is the prosecution, would have to carry its burden to prove the charge against you beyond a reasonable doubt and overcome your legal presumption of innocence. If the state does prevail, you could be convicted of this offense and face a penalty of up to a year in prison and or up to $1,000 fine. Given this information, how do you plead, Mr. Jackson?
Your Honor, I plead not guilty.
All right. The case has been arraigned and it will be further noticed for trial. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vigilante.
Are we ready for
All right,
position?
Ms. Vigilante, we have Mr.
Oh,
Schuman,
okay.
who is at the medical screen on Zoom. Christopher Schuman, are you ready to address this case?
Yes, just very briefly, I want to say, hi, Mr. Schuman. I know you spoke with Mr. McLean yesterday. He's sick today. He told me you'd like to take a guilty plea, and if that's still true, then I'm going to be representing you for that, okay?
Okay.
Okay,
State versus Christopher Schuman's case number is 24CR 0000480F. Charged with simple assault, criminal trespass and causing damage to property, and simple battery against a law enforcement officer stemming from a January 23rd, 2024 incident. Mr. Schuman, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say about the facts of the case, your statements can and will be used against you in the treatment of your case. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, Ms. Vigilante will be representing you in lieu of Mr. Michael McLean. Mr. Graham, what are the terms of the offer?
Thank you, Your Honor. So on count 3, simple battery against a police officer, state is recommending 12 months, served 60 days. Credit for time served 17 days. That's beginning January 23rd of 2024 A balanced probated 8-week anger management course, no further violent contact with Officer Chase Payton, a stay away from 25 Park Place. On count 1, simple assault, 12-month probation, concurrent with count 3, no further contact with Chloe Veal. Count 2, criminal trespass, 12 months probation, concurrent with count 3, no further contact with Keith Martin.
And what was Chloe's last name?
Chloe Veal, Veal.
Okay. Ms. Vigilante, are those the terms to which your client had agreed to?
It's my understanding, but Mr. Schuman, because we haven't met, you let me know if that didn't sound familiar to you, okay? Did Mr. McLean talk to you about all those terms?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
And Ms. Vigilante, I'm hoping you've reviewed at least the file. Are you stipulating to the factual basis, venue, and ID?
yes, Judge.
All right. Mr. Schuman, for purposes of the plea, may I place you under oath? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Schuman, my concern is that you spoke to one attorney and now you are being represented by someone new. So if there's anything different from what you expected, you need to let me know, all right?
Okay.
Because if I sentence you today, that will be it.
So it's 12 months, 60 days to serve. And the rest is probated?
Correct. You've
And-
only served 17 days, which will be 34 days as far as we are concerned. That means you have additional time to serve at the jail. You have about 13 more days to serve.
Okay.
13 to 14. I'm not sure if my math is correct.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that your understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
And you have to stay away from this public park known as 25 Park Place.
Yes, ma'am.
You cannot return to that park at all for the next 1 year.
Yes, ma'am.
And you also have to have no contact with Chloe Veal and Keith Martin, 2 individuals apparently where you had some kind of interaction with.
Yes, ma'am.
And no violent contact with the police officers.
Yes, ma'am.
Are those the terms which you had discussed with Mr. McLean?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Is anyone forcing you to take this plea today?
No, ma'am.
And are you satisfied with the services you've received from the Public Defender's Office?
Yes, ma'am.
If you decide to plead guilty to these charges, you would have to give up your right to challenge these charges in a court of law. You will not have a jury trial or a bench trial. You will not be able to confront your accuser. You will not be able to have the assistance of an attorney to present any defenses or any arguments in a court of law. And you will have to give up your right to have the state carry its burden to prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you plead to 1 count of simple assault, criminal trespass causing damage to property, and simple battery against a law enforcement officer?
Guilty.
Your sentence for simple battery against an officer is 12 months to serve 60 days. Credit for time served, 17 days. The remainder of the time will be probated. Once you've completed your jail time, you must report to probation at 132 Mitchell Street in downtown Atlanta. That is located at 132 Mitchell Street, and you must report there before 3 p.m. on a Monday, a Tuesday, or a Thursday. While you're on probation, you will complete 8 weeks of anger management classes, and you must begin those classes within 60 days of being released. You're to have no contact with Chloe Veal, Keith Martin, and you are to have no violent contact with any law enforcement officer. You're also to stay 200 yards away from 25 Park Place in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
Any questions? That concludes the case. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. His sentence for simple assault and trespass are going to be concurrent to count 3. Thank you. Okay, I'm not certain who else we were going to get a chance to speak to. Jail Court iPhone, any updates?
Yes, we have, position number, this is an add-on, I'm sorry, add-on, position number 1, Mr.
Okay.
Clark.
And Miss Vigilante, I don't know if Mr. McLean has had a chance to speak with him. Have you had a chance to speak with him?
That Mr. Clark is one of the people we were told was lost in the jail yesterday, so neither of us have had a chance. If I could have a moment to speak with him, that would be great.
All right. Deputy, you're going to see a message on your screen to join a breakout room. I think you're going to go back into that same breakout room that you were in before. Do you know how
Okay.
to do that?
Yes,
Okay.
Can
Ms.
I ask
Vigilante?
quickly, I don't believe I received the state's recommendation for the add-on calendar. I knew Mr. Hines' recommendation because he was a reset, but does Mr. Clark, is there a recommendation for him?
1 second, let me take a look at that, okay?
Thank you.
Add-on position 1.
Okay, so the add-on for position or add-on 1 is, oh, I have so many documents up. 1 second.
I have the
It is 12 months to serve 32 days. Credit for time served 16 days. Balance probated. FDIP 40 hours community service. No contact with Aikisha Jackson and the minor children. A stay away from 3718 MLK. No weapons, drugs, or alcohol while on probation.
and there were 5 charges. So
So that's going to run concurrent on all 5 charges.
okay.
Got it, thank you.
All right. Miss Debbie, could you join the breakout room? And Miss Vigilante, you will join the same breakout room you were in before. Do you know how to do that?
Yes.
Okay. We'll be in recess until this breakout session is completed. Miss Abden and Mr. Walker, y'all let me know when you want to address the 11 a.m. calendar.
I'm ready when the court is ready, Your Honor.
Is Miss Vigilante going to be there too?
I'm not sure.
For competency?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Then I thought I saw Miss Abden here. Yeah.
Good morning, Judge Law.
Morning. Y'all let me know when you want to address the 11 a.m. calendar, since Miss Vigilante is going to go into a breakout. All right.
I'm available to handle the competency calendar whenever you'd like. I do think that we have a private attorney that needs to be added to it as well.
On which position?
It is
Is it
positions 7 through 10. It's Sydney James. And I
okay?
believe that is
Mr. Murphy?
Mr. Murphy, yes, thank you. And then also position 6, as well as the last position, which is 17.
Okay.
And 15, I'm sorry.
Position 6 and position 15, not
And 17.
all right, 15 and 17. All right. Is it Mr. Murphy as well?
I believe so, Judge.
All right, we can, when he joins us, we can address those, but, Jail Court iPhone, could you please join the breakout session? Ms. Vigiletti, you guys need to go into the breakout and start discussing the plea.
for a request.
Oh, no, there'll be no request. You just go back into the same breakout you were in before. Do you know how to do that? If you don't, Ms. Strong is gonna help you. Ms. Strong?
Yeah, no, I don't, I'm not.
Okay, give
familiar
me a moment, Judge.
Okay. Okay, watch the screen, Deputy.
Okay. Oh, there we go.
All right. Ms. Abden, who is going to be joining us in the competency besides you and Mr. Walker?
I believe the social workers may join us, but
I don't see them on the Zoom yet.
I'm just checking in with them, Judge. They don't necessarily need to be there. They've given me all their announcements if you want to proceed with the competency calendar.
And Miss McLeod is in our office as well. She's going to join whenever you all are ready.
Okay, let's go to the competency. Mr. Walker, let's put us in a breakout. Ms. Abden, myself, Mr. Walker, and I guess Ms. McLeod if she's at your location. All right, Ms. Vigilante at courtroom 2, are you ready to proceed?
Yep. Yes, Judge.
All right, jail court iPhone with Mr. was it Mr. Clark?
Yes, Marquand Clark?
Was that with whom you were in the breakout?
Yes.
No. Oh, I think they may have dropped out of Zoom.
Well, I can make my announcement on Mr. Clark. He does have an open felony relating to the same victim, and so I'd like to reset the case so I can speak to his felony attorney.
All right. Marquand Clark is reset to February 15th, SAP calendar.
Thank you.
All right. So on the add-on calendar, Marquand Clark, position 1 is reset to February 15th. And position 2, Willie Hines is arraigned and further notice for trial. Okay, that gets me to my all-purpose calendar. Position 1, Emmanuel Brown was a plea.
Yep.
Have we addressed that, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Position 2, Justang, Javaris Justang.
Mr. Javaris can't be located right now. He also has a private attorney who I don't believe is here.
Mr. Murphy. Okay. Mr. Murphy has this case and position 17 on our competency calendar. All right, so we're waiting on this one. Position 3, Franklin was a plea. Position 4, Jackson is arraigned and further notice for trial. Position 5, Hassan Lowe.
Yesterday, Mr. Lowe was not able to be located, but I'm told that they do know where he is today. And I believe that Officer Gothi is on his way to locate him right now. He's on 4 South.
Yeah, got it. All right.
That's okay.
Sorry about that. Positions 6, Joe Loving is reset to competency calendar. That would be the February 15th at 11 a.m. calendar. Positions 7 and 8 are reset to February 13th. Next Tuesday.
Okay.
Position 9, Christopher Schumann was a plea. Position 10, Taekwon Thurman.
Mr. Thurman is another gentleman that couldn't be located yesterday. He was Mr. McLean's client. I am told they were able to locate him today. And so I believe he's on the same floor as Mr. Lowe.
Yeah, 4 South, I believe.
So I will
Okay.
we'll need some time to speak to him, and because there are 2 clients left that need to be spoken with. I have emailed with PD Abden, and perhaps we could each take one, so we're
Okay.
process.
Position 11, Turner was a plea. Position 12 and 13 and 14, Mr. Welch is those 3 cases are reset to February 15th. And then position 15, you made a note that you need to confer with Mr. Williams before we can proceed.
Yes.
So we are waiting on positions 2 for Mr. Murphy, Attorney Murphy, along with 1 case on the competency calendar. And on the SAP calendar, we are waiting on positions 2, 5, and 10 and 15.
Yes, and I'm told that Mr. Williams will not likely be located today.
All right, that leaves us with positions 2, 5, and 10, and a big question mark on position 15. All right, Ms. Champion or Ms. Strong, have you had an opportunity to reach out to Mr. Murphy to see if he's going to show up anytime soon?
I'm calling on the cell phone right now as we speak, y'all.
All right, thank you, appreciate it. And then, if the jail can let us know if they have positions of 5, 10, and possibly 15, that would be great. Are you alone in courtroom too, Miss Vigiletti, or is
Yes,
Deputy
I'm
Norris?
sorry, I am alone. Officer Norris told me that Officer Gothi was on his way to Forest South to speak with Hassan Lowe and Taekwon Thurman.
Okay,
Those are the last two. He did tell me that Mr. Williams won't be located today.
I just don't like those gaps of silence on a Zoom. It
Yes,
seems
agreed.
so. All right. So we'll be in recess until we can address these 5 position, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 positions as they appear on Zoom. Okay, we can pause recording, Ms. Strong. Thank you. Ms. Vigiletti, could you confer with the deputies? Ms. Vigiletti, if you're there, courtroom 2? Ms. Vigiletti? Attorney Vigiletti? Attorney Walker?
I'm here.
All right. Any updates on Mr. Murphy?
Oh, no, he never responded. I called him, texted.
Well, he's anticipating his position 17 case to start at 11 a.m. So we'll wait till 11 a.m. Miss Upton, do you know if Miss Vigiletti is still in courtroom 2?
I believe she is, Judge. It's my that there are 2 positions left. I was going to take one of them. She was going to take the other. I'm at home, so I'm not sure. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Is there anyone at the jail facility who's available? In courtroom 2? All right, it is 10:50 right now. We'll be in recess until 11 a.m. And then we will address either the competency or any cases that appear. Otherwise, we'll have to reset them. But we will resume at 11 a.m. It's 10:50 a.m. right now. Okay, thank you. And we can pause. Thank you.